Hey everybody, thank you for joining me today. So today's video, we're going to be doing this Operation Right Home, sketch number 150. So you can pause here, get your measurements, and like always, come join me at the crafting table. Now, before we get started, I just want to remind everyone, if you haven't already done so, please hit the subscribe button, and then right next to it, hit the bell, so that way you get notified whenever I upload new content. All right, and we're going to dive right on in. So I was showing you on the oval there, I did a heat emboss with Nuvo's, I think it's Enchanted Gold, and I used that small Altenew stamp that I got in the mail. And we're just going to really quick hit all of our edges so that way there's no fuzzies. And then we're going to attach our centerpiece onto our base paper. Now the base paper I made 4 by 5 1/4, and then it's going to go on top of that brown matte paper, which is 5 1/8 by 5 1/8. Lord help me, 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And we're just straightening up. Now there's not a whole lot showing, but I wanted a little bit of something, so I'm going to use this mirrored peel off. And I didn't do, I think I did the bigger size. No, I did the medium size because there's not a lot of space and I didn't want to lose the pattern paper underneath. And if you're the type, if you don't want to, wind up using all of that paper, you could potentially just cut like an inch off and then just tape it at the top and the bottom of the brown paper or the pattern paper. You could do it that way. So that way, you still have some of the paper left. I've used this pad so much, it didn't bother me to cover up most of that paper. All right, and then we're going to do our next layer. And I'm definitely, oh, I just knocked out my glue. I definitely am not afraid to use peel-offs. I love using them. So on this layer, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to attach it, get the wet glue. Now, if you have trouble lining your stuff up and you want just a little bit of time, like I always say, use both wet glue and your tape runner. And all it does is just give you a little extra strength on your projects. And then we're going to grab, now on this one, I went for the bigger peel off because we have more room, we have more space. So I didn't mind using the bigger peel off on this one. And then I use my scissors and just tuck it behind. And I try to do all those layers before I attach it to the matte paper. You know what I mean? Because you can put it up to the edge, but I'm always fearful that it's going to start peeling up or it'll get snagged. And I just feel like if you have the opportunity to kind of just put the one end kind of tucked underneath, I suggest doing it. It just, to me, it just gives me peace of mind. All right. So we have all those. So now we're going to attach this to our matte page. And again, with the wet glue. Now, all the cards, most of the time, the cards that I do are what they call A2 size. And the A2 size is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Just to let you guys know. If I do anything kind of different, sometimes I'll do a square card. And sometimes, very rarely though, especially on sketches, but I have done a 5 by 7 card before. It just depends on what all I'm trying to use, what paper, because you got to be mindful if you're using a 6 by 6 pad, it's going to be kind of hard to get a nice design on a 5 by 7. All right. So now we have attached that to our card base. And now we're going to finish things up. Now on the back of this, I was thinking I wanted to use some foam tape. So I'm going to grab that real quick and cut a nice piece off. And I usually always go right down the middle, and then whatever I have left, I would cut in half, and then I'm just going to put one on each side. And that'll give it really good stability. And then I'm going to put foam on just a portion of the sentiment there. Just the part that's going to be hanging off the edge. Just like that. All right. Yeah, I think I like it right there. Okay, so let's go ahead and take our backing off. And get that attached. And then take the backing off of here. And then I'm going to put a little bit of wet glue on the part without anything, because that's going to attach to the oval. And then I just wanted to hit it up because on the back of the 6.5 by 6.5 paper pads, like I told you before, it always has some sentiments that you can, take out, but they always have little edges from where it's perforated. So I always like to hit it. And then to finish this off, because you can't have too much gold, I'm going to go ahead and use some Nuvo drops. And I'm just going to put 3. And then we're going to tap, tap. And there we go. And there's our finished card. I really like that pattern paper. And I like the color scheme on that one. On this bluish one, instead of, I don't think I have like a really good blue Nuvo drop, so I used the gunmetal. And then I was just showing you the paper pad there that we used again. So if you like, please leave comments down below. I love reading them, and I do try and make sure I respond to everybody. And then at the very end, as always, I will have links to previous card sketch videos, and you could always check out my playlist. It has, we have over 200 sketch videos, so there's plenty of watching to be done. So thanks, you guys, and I hope you have a great weekend.